Hello everyone, this is Matt from Real World Review, and today we're going to replace the screen on the Pixel 4a Plus 5G. This is very similar to the Pixel 4a, but actually a little bit easier. So the tools we will need are going to be a razor blade, a pick, a playing card, and some heat. We'll also need some glue, as well as some clamps. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to heat up the edges of the phone. You pretty much want to just go around the actual screen itself, and make sure not to focus too much on the front camera, but you do want to make sure you get heat pretty much all around the edges of the screen. While it seems to be a little bit easier to start at the top right or the top left, I'm going to start at the bottom left because there's no cracked glass down here. But what I'm going to do is heat up the bottom just so I can get a razor blade in there to lift up the adhesive, and then I'm going to get a playing card to cut through that adhesive. I want to be careful with that card because I don't want to get in between the screen, I just want to get under it. So I got the playing card under the display, and I'm just going to cut through the adhesive, and I'm going to heat up that area on the top left and cut through the rest of that adhesive as well. As you can see, the screen powered on. If it powers on, just power off the phone, that's fine. But cut through the adhesive going up the top left and then the top right. And you should be able to heat up the bottom like this, and it should just kind of lift off a little bit easier. Feel free to use a playing card to cut through the adhesive on the bottom, but if you're trying to preserve the OLED like I was, be very careful. Once it lifts off the frame, you want to lift up the screen like this, and you want to fold it down like this. Next, there's this little cover that kind of goes over it. They started putting that on the Pixels. I don't know why, because there's this little plastic piece that you have to remove like this. I recommend using a pick to do that. Then you want to carefully use the pick to unplug the display cable, and then you're all set there. Next, we can test the screen, make sure everything's working. Looks like it is. So we're going to turn off the phone, take that off, and we're going to remove all the adhesive that's on here. And pretty much what you want to do is you want to get a razor blade to kind of cut through the adhesive and lift it up so then it's kind of flat around the edges. And once we have that cleaned up, what we're going to do is we're going to get the little earpiece thing, we're going to remove it from the old screen, and we're just going to set it on the new screen. It should just fit in there, but feel free to add just a very small amount of glue if it's not fitting in there properly. Now that everything's all cleaned up, what we're going to do is we're going to plug in the display, we're going to put this little plastic piece back on, starting with the right side and clipping on to the left side. Then with the screen folded like this, we're going to add some glue. We're going to go around the edges, skip over the little earpiece part, and continue going down the bottom and down the sides. And pretty much this glue is just going to go where the adhesive was before, and then we're going to set down the screen like this. And we're going to add some clamps. Make sure that all the edges are flat because sometimes the screen will move a little bit and you don't want it to cure while it's lifted up. Now there is one thing that I forgot to put back on, this little piece. All it does is just goes over that little plastic piece. It's not that crucial, but I did forget to put that in, so make sure to put that in if you have that option. Now with that, we have the clamps on here. We're going to let that sit for about 2 to 3 hours. After it's done drying, we're going to take off the clamps and we're going to clean up the adhesive. All you need to do is just use your fingers, maybe your fingernails, or possibly some alcohol, some like rubbing alcohol. That's all you really need to do. You don't need to use any metal or anything like that to remove it. But once that's all cleaned up, you're all set. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section or message me on Twitter. I get bored over there. Feel free to follow me on the social media listed above, subscribe to my channel so you can see more repair videos and some review videos, and hit that bell button so that YouTube reminds you when those videos do come out. Thanks for watching.